Good. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Good. Fixed. That's fine. So, let me see if Georgios wanted to enter already. No, they are trying to enter. Okay. So, I was asking you, Laura, as someone who also started with the technique when was 22 years old, how old are you now?
I'm 21.
21, so more or less the same age I was. So, how are you experiencing this change? Yeah, what's the difference, for example, with the previous way of learning the piano?
Oh, it's so different. When I was at uni, they focused more on like interpretation of pieces and being expressive with your piece rather than actual techniques. And I think a lot of it does link in, like my piano teacher always told me about like relaxing and like making sure you're not tense. So a lot of it is similar, but we never really went into details of like literally the mechanics of your body and your muscles.
Yes.
They're very different.
Yes. I will repeat something I said before. I just heard it so many times already, but it will be good to recap on it. There is a teacher, it's a piano teacher, and a fantastic concert pianist that I encourage you to listen to, apart from Marta and Bruno. Yeah, she's called Eda Maria Sangrigoli. She was one of the senior teachers at Juilliard School of Music. Yeah, she's now 86 years old, and she came back to Buenos Aires. But she went to the States when she was young. She has a fabulous recording of Rachmaninoff Concerto No. 2 for you to listen. Yeah, very expressive, extremely sweet. And she was the same as Bruno and Marta, a student herself of the maestro, no, of Scaramuzza. And she says in an interview, which is in Spanish, unfortunately, that Scaramuzza was a philosopher of the act of making music with the piano. So it's a very parabolic kind of way of describing it, but it's very precise. Yeah? So basically, he made of this learning of how to play a way of living. Yeah, and he went very, very, very deep on it. Yeah, I remember when Gisela is already here. When I joined, the scholarship I got with Bruno. It was very intense, not only because I was the same as you, I was going so deep on the technique and on these details and these minutious kind of work, but also because he approached me as an entire human being. He wanted to learn everything about me. It was so unusual, because he said we play as we are. Yeah, so if I don't know how you are, so somehow he modeled me completely. Yeah, not just as a pianist, as it was. So, and he did this in three pillars. Yeah, he basically splitted everything as well as he integrated them. That was very curious. Yeah, in order to actually approach everything, he created sections. Yeah. And this is exactly what you're experiencing now. This sectioning of the physical side of playing the piano, which is unusual. As you very well said, normally it's all embedded in mysticism. They just tell you, okay, relax, you should do this and you should do that, but it's no clear instruction on what you should do. And then you just try whatever you can, right? And you try to make your teacher content, and then there is a very ambiguous sense of satisfaction that you sometimes get with the teacher, but it's all very misty. Yeah, you don't get clear general conclusions. Yeah, this way of actually this philosophy of actually finding general conclusions that can be applied to other things tainted all my life, not only the way I play the piano. Yeah, my students, Iris, Anna, Georgios, and Gisela, my colleagues, and Cristina, can give account of this. Whenever I do something, and that's what I want in you as well to create, I always try to relate it with the general fabric of things, because that's the only way you make transcendental learning. There is no point in resolving for example, a scale in piano concerto number 7, 4-bar Haydn, and play it beautifully, if you don't understand that actually can be taken advantage of in 1 million other pieces. And then you land on another piece and you are thinking, oh, now I have to resolve this other puzzle that I can't play. Yeah, that's extremely slow as a method of learning. Yeah. So the splitting, yeah, this way that we are actually doing, okay, let's work on just the table exercise, for example, until we actually find out. Well, then it bleeds into every time that you play a piece and you start a piece and you are relaxed in that particular and precise sort of way. Yeah?
Yeah.
It's so spectacular, the sense of satisfaction that we get from it, that then we say, maybe I am actually not doing my gym in the right way either. So I should try to see what is it. So this is the sort of fractalic, of multiplication of the concept that we are seeking in here. As if we were in an abbey, yeah, and we are just trying to find the meaning of everything behind what we are doing. So well, we will land on these finger exercises. I will join with my extra camera, yeah, which I recommend you to do this if you have old phones that you don't obviously use any longer, yeah, but they have a camera and they can run Zoom. It's a very good idea to not throw them away or have them there archived in a drawer, yeah. Just you can use them with Wi-Fi and use it as your second camera. Yeah, it's a great idea when you give the online lessons, yeah. So, let's see. Right. Okay. So, hello, Shise. How are you?
Hello.
Hello. So, well, let's see. Here we are. So, first of all, finger exercise through the scales. One of the most celebrated Scaramuzza students, Daniel Barenboim, that I think everyone knows. Do you know Daniel Barenboim, Laura? Well,
Yeah.
Daniel Barenboim is a very humble person who wrote 3 books himself about his autobiography. Topic to be discussed in a different occasion. So anyway, in his autobiography, what he did, he said something that is very transcendental. He says, Beethoven didn't wrote a fabulous piano sonata for us to do warm-up exercises, which is actually very true, yeah? And Czerny did exercises too, for example, to work on certain particular things, but they're mixed, no? He can't avoid using several different movements, no? For example, arm movement mixed with... So that's why the warm-up exercises, the scales, doing the 24 scales linked together, or the arpeggios, are actually the right way to go, yeah, to do warm-ups, because music somehow it's present, but it's certainly secondarized, yeah, in relation to the physical side of things, yeah. So I told Laura in our last lesson, this will be with you for the rest of your life. I recommend all my students and all Scaramuzza students, we always do scales, arpeggios, always when we start to play the piano. Even if you are super advanced and you're playing Prokofiev concertos, etc., you still, yeah, when you go to the piano, just do a couple of scales and don't do an etude. Yeah, just do a couple of scales. You see how you feel. There is no music restraint. There is no mixed stuff going on. Yeah, you do finger movement. You do your basics. Yeah. So how to bind together the scales? Well, very easy. Look. Laura was having an issue. Yeah, Laura wasn't having an issue. The way I explained the scales to Laura has an issue, which is that you end outside of the keyboard. Yeah. So how do you compensate for that? You saw I already did it. Yeah, but I will do it as if so. Now we have a problem. And now the problem is imminent. And I go up one more. For example. Problem solved.
Oh, you just go up an extra octave.
Exactly, you experiment. You can do one extra octave, you bring it up. Like if it was a typewriting machine, that you're doing like this, and then, and then
Okay. Okay.
you just add a chunk, and it will be good because it makes you exercise the accentuation as well. Look. Our accentuation is every 4, not by coincidence. It's because if you do the accentuation by 4, it makes the accent go back to the tonic in the 4th octave. Look, you see that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And it's fantastic because you're not doing the accents always on the same notes or in the same fingers. So your scale, musically speaking, will resolve it so it becomes very even. Yeah, it's not working like the beginners, no, that do and then all the notes in between are very flaky. Yeah, so it's very solid. Now, when you reach the end, it forces you to play with the accents. So the one who is listening to you, who is no one because you are exercising, but in any way, wouldn't feel, yes, that you are actually changing or making the scale pop into something. Yeah, in English you say like that, not stumble into something. Stumble into, yeah, it just continues. Yeah. Yeah. I cut it short. Yeah. And then as you have the round, okay, that gives you control on the instrument. You become an athlete. Yeah, you just do whatever you want. Your brain tends to do funny things.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's for the scales. Okay, so last lesson, can you help me, Iris? Did we cover forearm and arm movements?
Sorry, I heard you a little bit low. Could you repeat that?
Yes, of course. In last lesson, anyone can help me. In last lesson, we covered. What did we cover? Do you remember?
Forearm movement.
Arm movement.
Forearm and arm, both of them I covered.
Yes.
Sure, 100%.
I think the arm movement, yes, we started, but very briefly.
But very briefly. Okay, wonderful. So I pick up from there. Okay? Okay. Arm movement is what I was confused because I had a lesson with Laura. So, arm movement. Laura, what do you remember of the arm movement?
It's that you have to make sure it's all very relaxed so that you kind of not flop, but you kind of push down on the keys.
Forearm movement is that one.
Oh, the other one is where you kind of flick your wrist up. I don't know if you can see. You flick your wrist up and then you can lift. So if you're playing a C major chord, you can kind of lift the C and the G up, lift your wrist up, and then go straight down.
Indeed. Yes, indeed, precisely. So it's important, you see me from there, right? Here?
Yeah.
So the important thing as well is that this has to be understood very well. Yeah? Let me do something. too close to me and I don't see anything. That's it. So the important thing is this movement, yeah, where the arm movement originates, yeah. It originates where? In the action of the triceps. So the triceps push forward and not upward. Eh? You don't do this like by doing sort of this, yeah. What you do is you push forward, yeah, but you encounter a limit, yeah. What's the limit? The fingers that are set up there, yeah. So because of that, this happens. Okay, so the vector is there, and so it does this, and we encounter a limit, and there is the potential, and then we go down. We go down, no, we go backwards actually, yeah. You see the mechanism? So, Laura, can you tell the rest of the group what we discussed about the example of the train? Do you remember the example of the train?
It was something like if the train's moving and you're running on the train, you're technically going faster than the train. And then something to do with as soon as the train stops, you could go flying across the train. And it all has to do with that.
Exactly. When a body is in motion and there is a body that is mounting on that one and going even further, yeah, that second body into motion, that is you inside the train, is going much faster. And this is precisely what's happening to our fingers when they deploy. So our fingers are relaxed, yeah, and then when we finally release the triceps and this comes back to normal, automatically our fingers deploy. You see? Look at my pinky and my thumb. Yeah, they deploy quickly to get the right position. Yeah, and in that act, we accelerate much more. So that's why this movement can produce the loudest sounds of all the 5 movements, particularly on multiple notes. Yeah, on multiple notes. The forearm movement can also produce very loud sounds, but on one note particularly. Yeah, but the multiple. Wait a second, please. I'm so sorry. Just 1 second. I will use my microphone. Just 1 second. Because it happens when I play the piano, because the computer adapts to the sound of me, my voice, and then adapts to the sound of the piano, and then it gets confused. So, let's see. But this microphone doesn't. So, let's see. Okay. Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so exactly, the forearm movement can produce very loud sounds, yeah, but particularly on a single note, like in this very celebrated example. Right? Okay, so now we're going to go to, no, we continue with our movement. So, our movement, we said, we fixed it on the axis, which is the fingers that are in the middle of the chord that we want to play. Imagine that we're going to play C, E, G, C, right? C, E, G, C. So, in the middle is where we have to decide, for example, fingers 2 and 4, where they will be. So then when we accept this action forward, we know that we can't go further than that. Okay? Now, the hands will not stay in a stiff, fixed position, right? But it will rather give in. Yeah? We will relax the more we can. And then we will deploy when we play. Okay? So, I want each one of you to do this. C minor on the left hand, Starting with Anna.
Okay. Looking here. Oh, it's very dark, eh? Bueno. Let me do this.
Anna,
Now you're gonna see.
remember to use the mobile internet, because when you change the room, it happens to you often. You forgot and you leave the Wi-Fi and we can't see anything.
Yes, sorry.
That's fine.
Now it should work.
Good.
Because I always forget.
Yes.
There we go. Now it should work, eh? I just changed. Okay.
Well done. Again, one more time. Well done. One more time. Very good. Very good. Georgios. Super. Iris.
Hi, sorry. I turned off.
That's fine. That's fine.
Sorry.
Well done. Laura. Super. That's it. Well done. Good. Good. So that's the arm movement. We're going to cover wrist movement quickly, okay? I will round up the wrist movement today. And then next week, yeah, we do a piece, like Mendelssohn. Again, the Mendelssohn we did last time, okay? Have you worked on the Mendelssohn piece by any chance? On this one. Remember which one I'm talking about? The one we did last
Yes,
week.
the one of the last week.
Did you?
I didn't work on it.
You didn't, no. Because you have the hand, but it's fine. Don't worry. But the rest, Georgios, Anna, and Laura.
Which piece was it?
The Mendelssohn. You remember the Mendelssohn piece?
That one, right?
Exactly. Okay, don't worry. Then I do the rest. Learn that piece because it's very short and it's great for this lesson. So next lesson is that piece. Okay? It's very short. So, okay. Wrist movement. The wrist movement, yeah, it's one of the most difficult movements to learn and to teach, yeah, along with the rotation. The wrist movement is what we call a spastic movement. Why a spastic movement? Because it happens automatically, it rolls. Yeah, it's not a fully controllable movement like this one, in which all the movement is actually continuous, yeah, and we kind of clearly see its development. We can stop in the ready to play position. We can feel the potential. We can then release. Yeah, everything is very detached and compartmented. Yeah, in the rotation and in the wrist movement is not. Yeah, in the wrist movement, in order to learn it the same as in the rotation movement, we are going to force it into becoming compartmented because otherwise it's impossible to learn. Okay, so in the wrist movement, yeah, we will keep the same finish, right, of the hand positioning, yeah, and we will see how the wrist behaves. So having our shoulder and elbow completely relaxed as it is, okay, we keep this elevation through the in comparison to the keyboard, yeah, this elevation. So not precisely in this line, yeah, but slightly above, just tiny, yeah. So then we have to lift less, and then this is the wrist movement. Okay, so this is the ready position. Just go up. So nothing happens here, nothing happens there. Yeah, just keep the position, and that's the ready to play position. And then when we play, obviously, yes, that's it, Lord. Very well done. Georgios, let's see. Well done. One more time, Georgios. Super. Iris and Anna. One more time. well done. Iris, one thing, remember, very, very good, and I like a lot the attitude as well. Very relaxed, very super. 99%. The only thing, just to be very picky, the only thing I will say is that remember that the wrist shouldn't be too lifted. Yeah? So when you finish, don't finish, by no means finish like with this curvature. Yeah? Try to finish like that. Yeah? Like that is enough.
Okay.
You did it very well. I mean, it's fine, but just to brush it up.
Yes, I see. Thank you.
Anna. Very good. Anna, very good actually. Very good, Anna. Yeah, that's the right position. Georgios, let me see again. Very good. Laura, one more time. Very good. So, obviously, when we finish, yeah. Oh, just 1 second. One second, I sent the message to the wrong person. That's why. 1 second. Okay. So, when we finish with the wrist movement, we finish in the same attitude as when we play finger movement. Okay? So now, when we have to reignite the wrist movement, is the finger and the wrist. And it's like a switch. Okay? Let's go deep on the attitude of the hand. Okay? When I play, automatically, if you check me in slow motion, I go down and look at my fingers, the ones that don't play. They get slightly separated from the keys, yeah? So it's like a karate again, like a karate hit, in which I help with the negative movement to gain more speed. You see or not? Yes? Yes or not? Clear?
Yeah.
Good. Good. Now, when we play, we will very rarely play a single note in wrist movement. Never. Yeah? Because wrist movement is a very poor movement for that purpose. Yeah? It's a fast movement. It's particularly prescribed, is more usually prescribed to play staccato, yeah, fast staccato scales or fast staccato groups, yeah, or elements. So, for example, right? Obviously, when we play it at that speed, we are not thinking ready to play, and all this bulky kind of organization that we do for the forearm movement and the arm movement. We would never be able to reason it like that at that speed, and there is no point. Yeah. So what we do is to learn to do, first of all, to learn the spastic movement. I don't know if you can see with the framing there in the camera, but this movement actually we just unleash it, and we do like a trembling. Yeah. Like this. And from where is it born, the trembling? In the triceps. We just shake our hands. Like if we were doing this. Yeah, from the back, from here. Okay, from here. Right? Not from with these muscles. Not this. This is very tense. Yeah? But imagine from here, as if you were doing this. Right? So let's try. So first of all, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. You see that I can't hold it there because I'm shaking. I'm not moving it. So I'm shaking. So I can't keep it up, So that's it. Yeah? Good. Good. If we analyze how the shaking works, in order to discipline it, yeah, what I have to do is to think about these 3 fingers. Yeah? So these 3 fingers, yeah, will be more close together and will create a sort of gravitational point. So we go like this. right? Thinking of the second, leading with the second. That's it. Then, obviously, this is too disorganized, yeah, to play in the piano. So we will discipline it. I will make it smaller, right? So we can do. The wonderful thing is that as we are engineering it from the triceps, which is a very big muscle, we can do it forever. It will never exhaust the triceps to do that. Well, if we do it from here, this will get muddled up and we will have an injury. Yeah? So, from the back, from here. Yeah? Can continue forever. Yes? Huh? If we want more speed, what are we going to do? To make it smaller and smaller and smaller. We will discipline it more. And the tension will be here. Yeah, so that is a muscle that can take tension. It's a big muscle. It's a muscle in which we can actually use to lift 10 kilos. Yeah, so it's absolutely fine. Okay, so we're going to go step by step, right? So, one by one, first of all. So, shake both hands, big and slow. Big and slow. And don't hold it up. Good, good, well done. Okay. Do you feel the tension here in the triceps? Can you channel it there? Okay, good. Now, try to think that this synergy, or that mass that pulls up and down, goes to your first 3 fingers, 1, 2, and 3, when you do it. Yeah, try to concentrate on those first 3 fingers when you shake. No, the same. Don't change the exercise. Just the same you were doing before, but just try to concentrate on what happens inside your hand. Yeah, in the 3. Okay, then we are going to try without, yeah, you will feel some discomfort here in the wrists, yeah, because it's shaking a lot, yeah. So we will try to restrict the shaking, yeah, and we'll make it smaller, yeah. So we go there and we just limit it. So the shake is not all the way through, but just there, yeah. So, and slow, still slow, still slow. When we are there with finger 3 and without change the shape of the hand, we keep it relaxed, we try to play C. Anna.
Okay. I play or I explain?
You play C, like that. Well done, Georgios. On finger 3, please.
Finger 3 on C.
3 on C.
Wait.
Well done, again. Super. It is.
This is like a spastic because you throw from here.
Yes.
Very good. That's it. And knocking the door. It's the same as knocking the door. So, Laura. Very good. That's it. That's it. That's it. A very good example is knocking the door. It's the same thing you do when you knock the door. Yeah? Okay, now we will try to keep the same precision and we will do it. We will go in a round and we will do it. C, D, E, F, G, F, E, D, C. And I will explain you a bit. The precision in the wrist movement is gained through giving structure to the hand. Yeah, so you go ta, 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 ta. Are you seeing my face camera so I can show you there? Yes? So ta, 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 ta. So I'm not doing this. No, I'm not doing that. Yeah, that's very, how to say, stiff. Yeah? So I'm doing I'm collaborating with the whole hand. Ta, 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 ta. Okay. Georgios.
Yes, with the speed. Over.
Well done. Well done. Good, good, very good. Anna. Very well done. That's it. Laura. Well done, Laura. You need to work a bit, yeah? So you make sure that your movement is disciplined and clean. So there is no, yeah, I'm seeing just a bit of mixing with the rest of the arm, yeah? So just, yeah, it's the first time you do it, so it's normal, yeah? So try to make sure that somehow you conceive the action or even the tension. I don't like to speak about tension, but even the tension, yeah, you just trap it there in the triceps. You don't let it go anywhere else, yeah? Then once you have it there, you minimize it, yeah? At the moment, you have some sort of tension, which is maybe slightly more than what you should. So the first step, we place it where it has to be, yeah? And then we try to clean it up and to leave it to a minimum, okay? So try again and concentrate on the roll of the triceps. That's it. That was clean. Iris. Fabulous, Iris. Very well done. 99.9%. Fantastic. Well done. Good. Okay. So you got there the full deployment of the wrist movement. Now, when you play, don't you feel that you get to the depth of the keyboard when you do it? Yeah, I think it has one advantage, this movement, that for some reason it makes us very easy to feel how we reach the bottom of the key. Yeah, and it's easy as well to feel how the hand acquires a different attitude when it's in the air, which is very relaxed, and when it lands on the keyboard, and it's not very tense, but when it's on standby position, yeah? So you feel how the weight of the arm is now on the finger, yeah? You see? It's a very nice movement to use in Baroque pieces, yeah? It's beautiful, yeah? You will feel how the piano reacts, very similar to an harpsichord. Yeah, it's a movement that is not great to do dynamics. Maybe you already realized it. Yeah, it's not particularly versatile. Yeah, to do a nice ballet of pianissimos too. Yeah, it will tend to sound loud. Yeah, and it becomes uneven when you try to go smooth. Yeah, of course you will have to sophisticate your craft, your skill. Yeah, but in any case, yeah, it's naturally not producing or not facilitating the dynamics, yeah? It kind of tends to produce for you accents and not accents. Yeah, perfect for Baroque pieces. Okay? Now we will try to make the pass of the thumb. Only the first one. Can someone do it? So you start with the right. 2. Okay. Who wants to do it?
Mr. Juan, I cannot hear you very well. Very, very smoothly.
Now?
Yes.
Good. So, who can do it first?
What are the notes? Sorry?
Just do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Yeah? Let's see.
I can try, but
Iris.
only with my left hand. Is that fine? Because
No.
my right hand is so tense. I don't even think I can relax
Okay,
it.
try with your left. It's fine.
Okay.
One more
Twice.
time. Very well done. Iris, remember, don't lift a little less in comparison to the keyboard, your wrist. Okay? Well done. Well done. Try again.
Okay.
Try again. Yeah. Well done. Very good. Very good. Laura, so you do 2 octaves, accent, yeah, and we try to exercise the dynamics as well. Yeah, so piano to forte. Yeah, so let's see.
Okay.
Laura, the same I did. Right, 2 octaves, and then the left joins.
Okay.
No, like this. Look at me.
Okay.
Okay. Now, why I want you to do this very painful exercise to all of you? Because I want you to calibrate, yeah, the distance to the key from piano to forte. Look at me. Look at my hand carefully. I'm almost from the surface, you see? And my fingers are tied together. And when I want more, my hand becomes more ready, yeah? Oh, my internet flicked, I think. One more time. Yeah, so. Yeah, and then. Okay. Laura, one more time. Well done. Better. Anna. Beautiful. That's it. And I know why you have it so well digested, because of Kabir. Because you have to teach it to Kabir so much. Well done. Very good. I'm very happy with your movement, actually. So, Georgios.
Hands together.
No, the same as me.
Okay.
Very well done. That's it. Good. I will round up the session. So, wrist movement is there. Iris, remember to create a report of these ones, because I'm doing what you suggested me. I'm going movement by movement, and then we can.
I know, Juan. I haven't sent you the previous Scaramuzza's report because we haven't repeated. I mean, everything we're seeing, we saw it months ago, and I did reports very detailed. So I don't know what to do. I want.
No, that's fine. Then what you can do is to link the video only. You can paste the video there, and that's it. Don't do the report again. You're right. You already did. Yeah, it's fine. Okay.
Okay, I'll do that.
with these lessons, I'm very spontaneous, and you have a very good structure. You created a wonderful reporting system. So if you see that I'm repeating myself, it's very good what you said. Just don't say it again. Yeah. If you think that the video is particularly useful to clarify, yeah, just paste it. If you think we have a video that's already said the same, don't paste it even.
No, of course. I'll do the video thing, so I can link.
Good. Good. So, have you seen that the Scaramuzza technique gives you a lot of tools as teachers? Why? Because for example, you land on a piece. No? One of the feelings that I gained from this Scaramuzza technique is that I completely lost the feeling that I couldn't play something, or I didn't know how to play something. Maybe I didn't study the piece, but I knew what to do with the piece if a student came with a piece. For example, if someone comes to you with a Scarlatti sonata. Scarlatti wrote 900 sonatas. So even if you are the most devoted pianists, it's very highly probable that you will have a student who might want to play a sonata you didn't play. Yeah? And that doesn't mean that you will not be able to teach that sonata. If you are a proper technician, yeah, of this Scaramuzza paradigm, you will be able to very easily spot for your student and create spot for the student what the movements that he should use at the very beginning, you know, for the first approach to the piece. Yeah, it will just shout to you the score. It will tell you, I need this, I need that. So then you can perfect the movement. You can, again, going back to the beginning of this session, you can split the objectives. Yeah, you can say, okay, first of all, we need to discipline your wrist movement, because without it, yeah, it doesn't matter what we do in the piece. If the wrist movement is not properly resolved, yeah, you will not be able to play this piece to a high standard, yeah, because it will fail sooner or later, yeah. So it gives you already the trip to go with your students, yeah. So first of all, wrist movement. Then, if it has, for example, octaves, no, like this one, arpeggios, sorry. And so remember this piece. I don't remember it by heart myself. Yeah, so you know how to do the arpeggios, yeah, and how to do this one. Then you can polish it up to pack it nicely, but you already know what to tell your student. Yeah, you have to tell arm movement here, wrist movement there. You can dislocate it for him or her. And everything falls together. Yeah, so. And you have all the scope of work you should do. Like if your student was a dancer, not a pianist. Yeah, you know that you have to calibrate, yeah, the fingers. So make it small because it's fast. Yeah, you know that you have to dislocate because this is going to stand in your way. And by dislocating, it will fall into the right place along the continuous. Yeah, so I know that I have to repair here. Yeah, so yes. And all of a sudden it becomes a pleasure, because you feel confident and you will make your student feel confident as well. Okay? There is nothing that is more nerve-wracking for you teachers and for your students to leave gaps of uncertainty. If you don't tell a student precisely what he or she has to do, you will automatically create doubt. Yeah? So for example, if I didn't tell you that this goes a tiny bit of a second first, and this one goes, or with what it was, with what I have to match it. For example, with that note is what I'm aligning it with, not with this one. Yeah, so obviously when I go in fast motion, it sounds almost at the same time. Yes? But that description is what helps the right course of action. Okay? You become technicians of the piano on one side. And by being technicians, good technicians, you can then transfer what you have in your minds artistically, no? The dynamics, the rubatos, the whatever you want to use to create your version of the piece. But with this first, there is no way of perpetrating your plans. Yes? Okay. Enough for today. Okay? Now, where are my assistants? Iris and Georgios. Georgios, where are you? She said.
Georgios had to leave.
Ah, has a student. Okay. So, for Georgios, I would say, tell him if you can. In the next analysis session,
Yeah.
I will try to do an exam. Yeah? And tell him as well to chase the rest of the classmates for examples. So he can exercise himself by correcting Laura's, Iris's, and Anna examples.
Okay, so exam and correcting the fellow students.
Exam with a question mark. I will see if I will do it, depending on...
We say assessment now.
Assessment, exactly. Checkpoint.
Checkpoint.
Checkpoint. Yeah. And then with Scaramuzza, for all of you, and tell Georgios as well, that's more for Iris than for Georgios, Mendelssohn, that piece I gave you, Opus 62, number 5, I think it was. Opus 62,
D minor?
number 5. Yes, the Romanza sin palabras, the romance without words. Just learn it. It's great because you use arm movement, finger movement, everything. And it's very static. So,
Yeah, that one.
good. That's it then. Thank you very much. Iris, can I call you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.